I'm Bryan Catherman with SaltyBeliever.com, and I would like to discuss this book, Covenantal and Dispensational Theologies, 4 Views on the Continuity of Scripture. This is edited, and parts of it are written by Brent Parker and Richard Lucas. And then we have the 4 views. Michael Horton is arguing for covenantal theology. Progressive covenantalism is argued by Stephen Wellum. Progressive dispensationalism is Darrell Bock. And the traditional dispensational view is Mark Snoeberger. I hope I got all those names right. This is a really helpful book. If you are not familiar with covenantal theology or dispensational theology or what the discussions are, the arguments, Parker and Lucas do a really good job of providing an introduction. And here's kind of the lay of the land, and here's why these things are understood as they are, and strengths, weaknesses, pros, and cons. I did another video about a book called From Discontinuity to Continuity. This is similar, except instead of having 6 views, it has 4 views, and those who are arguing for the views are a single writer that really know the topic. They write on the topic, they argue the topic, they're arguing for their position, and then what happens is you get an essay from that writer, and then each writer also gets to respond to every other contributor. It's a very helpful way to understand sort of how the debate plays out. If you've never done a 4 views book, it's helpful to know that you kind of start from the position where you think you're at, and you read all 4 contributions before you read the rebuttals to those contributions, and you kind of see where you land, and then you go back in and you read those rebuttals to each one of those positions just to see if you can sort of join in the conversation. The thing I like the most about this is, one, the introduction really helps to make sense of the debate and make sense of some of the issues and help you kind of follow the language and the thought patterns here before you jump into those big essays. And 2, those big essays are nowhere near as much material and as difficult as what most of these guys have written about. So like Stephen Wellum, he argues for the progressive covenantal position, and in here I think his piece is maybe 30 pages, and then he's also got some rebuttals to some of the others, but he's really sort of a leading champion for that position with, maybe this book you've been interested in reading, Kingdom Through Covenant. This is kind of the groundbreaking work on that position. This is kind of the go-to, but look at this monster. I mean, this thing is huge, and if you're not ready to really dive into that level, then you have this little guy, plus you get some of the responses back, and you can sort of see how that argument plays out, and you can see how he responds to the other positions. Same with all the other positions. That's how these 4 views books they work that way. So I just really want to encourage that if you're interested in covenantal theology, dispensational theology, this is a new topic for you. This is a really, really helpful way to get into the topic without getting into the deep end too fast. This book does get a little bit heady at times, and you're going to want to go to some of the scriptures and go, wait, is that how I understand that? Is he making sense here? You're going to want to think through the arguments. You're going to want to spend some time in this. It's not a quick read, but it is a very helpful and it is a very good read, and it really does a nice job of letting you know where these arguments land with some of the best arguers and writers on the topics. I just really want to commend this book to you if this is something you're interested in looking into. If this is not something you're interested in, this thing might be a dog to work through. But if it's a topic that you're interested in or you're curious about, I really want to commend this book to you. It's Covenantal and Dispensational Theologies, 4 Views on the Continuity of Scripture.